Okay, so an important formula in finance and accounting is the tax-free yield formula. T sub f equals T sub a times quantity 1 minus f. Now this formula can be used to convert a taxable yield, such as a bond, a stock, a debt security, or some other securitized asset, into its equivalent tax-free yield, T sub f, where f is the federal income tax bracket of the individual. So let's suppose we have a retail investor who's in a 28% income tax bracket, and we're charged with finding the equivalent tax-free yield of a 12% taxable investment. So in other words, find the return that a 12% investment must yield such that said yield equals the yield on a comparable tax-exempt bond, say, such as a municipal bond or some other debt security or similar asset class. So that's our charge for problem A. And then for problem B, suppose we're asked to solve this equation for T sub A, which is to say, write an equation for taxable yield in terms of tax-free yield. So we can just pull up an arbitrary bond index in any tracker of our choosing and have a look at some prices. Okay, so in this case, I happen to be looking at PIMCO Active Bond, ETF. And we can see if this particular bond is currently trending upward or downward, and its closing prices, and so on. And we can set pretty much any desirable time interval on the chart. And so this ends up being just a basic linear equations problem. And all we need to do for portion A is substitute the relevant values. So for this particular retailer, or anyone in a 28% income tax bracket, a 12% taxable yield is equivalent to an 8.64% tax-free yield. So let's work out portion B, and we'll set up an equation environment. And again, all we need here is algebraic substitution and the familiar properties of real algebraic numbers. And we're done.